Hey, Flosstube, Pam, stitching between the lines. Today's Monday, June 17th. Oh my gosh, June 17th. A few more days, 2 more weeks. The year will be half over. Murphy came to see me. Here's Murph. Can you hear him purr? Murphy has the absolute loudest purr. He's not really a lap cat, but he lets me pick him up and put him on my lap. He's done. He's out of here. Tried to walk across the work table. That wasn't going to work. Anyway, it's time that there be an update. I haven't stitched a lot, so I feel like I'm losing a little bit of control because I'm collecting all these things to show you. Once I show you, they can go be dispersed back into the world of my house. So Stitch Mania is done and over, and I showed you all the things I worked on there and finished and whatevered. So what was sort of becoming a backlog was FFO things. It's still a huge backlog. So I gave myself a little bit, I committed to finishing a few things. Finally finishing. So anyway, I have a couple of those things to show you. There's things in the works, things now neglected on my work table, as happens. I don't know. What happens is something else comes along, or another obligation. Since the weekend of Mother's Day till Memorial Day, in the 5 weekends that were from Mother's Day forward, I was away 4 of them. So things get neglected because I'm going away or I'm doing something. One of the things was one of the quilt guilds I'm in puts on a big quilt show, very nice. And they have designers come and teach classes. I went out and weeded this morning. I had a wheelbarrow full, so my hands are, sorry, I have the hands of outside, having been working outside. So designers come and we get to sign up and take classes, and you volunteer at the show and stuff like that. So I was up there, it's about an hour away, taking a class, working at the show. I stayed in a hotel just because, the early mornings and how long it takes to get there and stuff. So it was fun, but then I leave projects because I have to go work on something different because I'm taking a class or there's a deadline. I didn't show anything in this show. I could have. After it's over and you think, oh, I really should have put something in, but it's so, the complexity of you have to get it there on a certain day and time and you have to go get it after the show, and how many times am I driving up there to do all these things? So I didn't, but now I kind of wished I had. I don't know. It's easy to say that when you're not the one trying to squeeze in the time to drive up there and back. Anyway, so my sewing room is a disaster. An absolute disaster. It is not improved at all by FFOing a few things. So let's get to it. This was a Mania finish, not a start, but a finish. Greetings from Yellowstone, an open road abode pattern, the postcard patterns, which I am just totally enamored with. This was started when we were on our trip last fall, where we went to Yellowstone and the Tetons and that area, Jackson, Wyoming. And I finished it. I talked all about it on my last video. Our internet is not enjoying its Monday, so it's currently out. So I couldn't look back up what number video my last video was. The last one I did in May of 2019. So anyway, I talked about the variegated thread and whatnot. So I put it in a frame that I had bought ages ago for this very purpose. So there it is. I bought one of those point drivers, right, for framing, which is like the best investment ever. This frame doesn't really have room for fabric. There's, some batting in there, and then to put the back on. So those point driver things really saved the day. That is a cool tool. So there's that one done. I also, this is an old, I don't want to say an oldie. I've had this kit for ages. And then I finally stitched it up in 2018. I believe it's a JBW Easter. I couldn't find the actual pattern to get its actual name. So I was working on finishing it, and I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea, and they had showed that something that they hang on their on their china cabinet, they have put these long things on so they can just pin it up over the top, and there's no, you know, it doesn't show and it hangs nice. So I'm like, oh, I'll try that. In fact, I put it in such a way that I could just cut it off if I didn't want it after a while, if it just didn't prove to be useful. And then, of course, you just do the ripping of the fabric and the gathering and the gluing and the things. So that one for next spring is off my design wall where it's been hanging for ages. And then the last, oh no, not the last thing. This was the Mania project. This had been in a project bag since 2016. Whoops, pattern alert. When I bought this magazine, and I fell in love with the strawberry pattern that was in here. And I did, the first one that I did right away and finished as a little beaded edge pillow, I used in display with some strawberries, some little fake strawberries in a little cute blue and white gingham check bowl. So I wanted to do another one, so I did another one, this one. And then after I got it done, I wanted to do another one. Again, beaded edge, super simple finish, super simple. I wanted to do one more, so I did, which is here. And I did the little berry basket with the berries in it. And it's so stinking cute. I don't know. I screwed up the count. I didn't do the gingham check correctly. On the bottom, I thought it was just a repetitious. Let me look at the pattern. Let me look at what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be, let's see if you can see. It's supposed to have like a pink where the, well, I did do that. Oh, I know. I did everything too wide, and it's supposed to be too wide and 1 stitch wide in the red plaid, and I just did everything too. So then it was too wide. So then I had to make the basket because there's no undoing this stuff. Probably I was already starting on the basket, and I got over and I thought, oh, this isn't working out right. So the basket had to be wider, but who cares? It's a berry basket. Then I had to fill in a little bit more strawberry at the top. So again, easy enough to do. So this one is done. I just dropped one out of my project bag, so emptied another project bag. And as you know, my rule, you know, my Mania rule was if I finished 2 things, I could start something new. It's going to bug me that that's down there. Okay. But at this point, these were 2 tiny little things. I wasn't feeling like I wanted to start a new anything, so I haven't really started anything new. I'm feeling like I want to finish some more things, or when I finish... Well, actually, while we're speaking of finishes, this was a Mania finish, too, while I was at it. I didn't finish it during Stitch Mania. I finished it soon after. Baby It's Cold Outside, Heartstring Samplery. It was a gift from a blog drawing a million years ago. Did it on the called fors with the called fors. It's done. It's cute. I really love it. I think everybody loves the way the bricks, the texture the bricks get by the way you stitch them. Still not feeling like starting anything new, so no matter. I'm close to finish on a couple things, but we're not there yet. So one more FFO. This I did over the winter Country Cottage Needleworks camping trip. And this one I finished in a frame. Let's see how many other things we can reflect. It's fabric, coffee and or tea dyed. And I put it together and I thought, oh, it needs a little something first. So I went and got, actually had a bunch of these like river rocks that you use maybe in a glass jar with a candle in it or something. So I had to pick out kind of the flat ones that would fit in there. It's looking kind of cool. One thing sometimes about dyed fabric, over dyed fabric, is because, I'm sorry, it reflects terrible. Because of the change in the color, sometimes it looks like a wrinkle or a pucker in your fabric when you frame it, but it's not. It is not what that is. So that's a cute one. I really like that. So that's all the FFOing that went on. In keeping with my attempt to do a wordplay a month, I'm working on May's wordplay. This, I'm not considering finishing one wordplay, which I did in Mania. The wordplays are a whip all across. Doesn't matter how many I finish. If there's another one to do, the whole thing is still a whip. So I'm not counting this as a new start. It's just keeping on. This is May's. This is as far as I've gotten. I've had lots and lots and lots of days in May where there has been no stitching at all. So this has been a slow go, and the other night I just thought, I am so sick of stitching words and a little thing and words and a little picture and some more words, and I'm not really sure. This will be the 6th one. Yeah, 6. So if I finish this one, I'll be halfway through, and I don't know if it might need to take a break. We'll see. We'll see how I do. I have that one in my downstairs stitching chair so that it's a priority piece, and I'm tired of it. So we'll see. Before I got so dedicated to working on the May wordplay, I was oops, another alert of pattern. I picked up Prairie Schooler's Christmas Tree Farm, which was a whip in my Mania, so it wasn't a new start, but I kind of worked diligently on it. I didn't have any of these trees done. Basically, I didn't have anything down here done, or Santa, or the sign. So I worked really pretty diligently and made a huge amount of progress. Prairie Schoolers are one of my exceptions to starting new things, that I always want a Prairie Schooler started. So if I finish this, which is essentially these parts down here, I can start another Prairie Schooler. So the whole time I'm stitching on it, I'm like, maybe I'll finish this in like another 2 days. I wonder which one I'll start. So in my mind, I'm already ready to start another one, and then and then I don't finish it. So anyway, and then I've been doing Wednesdays with, like, in spirit with Kathleen of Kathleen's Trodden Trail. We've been working on Chakra Hollows. Oh, there's a bunch of thread in here. Sorry. So essentially, about the only thing I've done since Mania ended is work on this big old cow. I screwed it up, had to take it out, put it away before I really got much work done on, not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. So that one's coming along. He's making his way. I love it. I'm enjoying it. So Wednesdays I pull that guy out and work on it. And then the last thing is I'm preparing for StitchCon. This was a Mania start, Bent Creek Summer Soapbox. And during Mania, I did the box and the watermelon. So now I'm boxing things in so that I can, during StitchCon, mindlessly stitch, especially the sail and the rest of the boat, and some little things inside boxes. So that's fun. I love the blues, the shades of blue. Oh my gosh. There we go. Love this one. I did the winter one. Oops, got stuck. I did the winter soapbox. I don't really love the other two, so I'm good. I'm good with my soapboxes. So that's it. I'm going to keep it under 15 minutes in the event that my internet comes back. So have a good one. Bye.